week in a bid to rebuild defence cooperation and engagement following Fiji's elections in September. Mr Brownlee's trip to Suva follows a list of recent visits by top military representatives from France, Britain, Australia and the US. The University of Fiji's director of the Centre for International and Regional Affairs, Richard Herr, told Amelia Langford Fiji's older allies cannot expect to pick up where they left off.
The issue really is how to re-engage effectively. And what's different, of course, is that as Fiji itself has made the point, in the 8 years during the military sanctions on Fiji, they've made new friends, and the military spokesman for the Fiji military has made it clear that they're not going to abandon the new friendships for the sake of the old ones. So that means a new complexion, a new pattern of relationships that will have to be developed.
And there would you be talking about China and Russia?
China, Russia, India, Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, they've all figured one way or another in closer ties over the last 8 years that have filled the void that was left by the departure of some of the more traditional friends.
So these old players might come back on the scene and find things have changed quite dramatically.
I think they will. I think that there was a bit of a surprise, I think, when the Fiji military delivered the news that they would like to re-engage, but it would not be business as usual, meaning, as I think they've said, this is the first step, not the final end of what re-engagement will require.
Do you think it's problematic that these old friends, they're coming back because Fiji's had these democratic elections, but these countries are still dealing with the people involved in the 2006 coup?
I mean, it might, if they feel it's problematic, then it is problematic, but I don't see that it should be. We've been through this before. In the case of Fiji, we've been through it with other countries that have had coups, and we've had to restore relations and deal with new circumstances with them. So it's not necessarily uncharted territory. And again, I think part of the problem is, in your question really, was waiting until after every T had been crossed and every I dotted before even trying to rebuild aspects of trust. That will itself leave a legacy that will be part of the problem.
Right, so it could have been better to do it gradually.
It would have been better to have had a graduated re-engagement and done so in a way that made perhaps some of the process of re-engagement less contingent on, I guess, proof from Fiji. I mean, much more than we've required from other countries that we've dealt with, like Zimbabwe or Myanmar or so on. I mean, I think that was part of the feeling that Fiji had, was that this was the level of proof before re-engagement was higher than it should have been, and certainly that is at least part of the issues that are on the table for being addressed.